Yeah, whatever. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Daily Live Extra. It is Thursday, the 3rd of August. The Premier League kicks off in 9 days. Still.
Feels slightly
Really letting the club down.
Feels slightly unprepared.
Slightly, but, we'll see. We will see. Story today from Portugal saying that even though Youssef Chermiti's bags are packed and he said his goodbyes,
He's packed and he's ready to go.
they still haven't finalised the deal.
Well, that's why would that be any kind of shock? Anybody?
I'm thinking it potentially is to do with the player and personal terms as opposed to the two clubs. And the two clubs have, and I think it's been widely reported, the two clubs are happy with the deal that they've struck. And I'm thinking potentially now it is Youssef Chermiti, those terms. And if that's the case, throw an extra 25 quid on top.
I don't think there's a delay. I think the delay is he's coming over via Sporting.
Everton are just like, I'm not being funny, mate. You've got
coming anyway.
Your place is already booked.
Your mates. So you have like...
You've got a window seat.
Yeah, it's like...
On Ryanair, it's already sorted.
Yeah, laughing. It's all good.
We have to book it for you. You're going to have to come on EasyJet. Different.
You've got to sort all of the same visas out.
No.
You're going to need your passport details. He's probably left it in a drawer in his mum's or something.
Yeah, just. Well, it'll be with the club owner because the club basically take your passport off you. So Sporting have got it. We've got to try. It's all been put in a box as well, one of those like plastic containers with Sporting written on all of the, and you can't go through that. So maybe that's just what it is. Maybe that's just what
they left it in a safe place, and they just can't remember what that safe place is anymore.
Well, I don't know. I think Everton have been sensible here. I think Everton are thinking, why should we fund the flight? Let him come over with his team, his ex-team, and we're not going to play him on Saturday anyway, and it's all good.
I think so.
Maybe.
Makes sense.
You never ever know. You never know. Adrian Taylor says, come on, press the like button. And Eugene, what does Eugene say?
I've no idea.
Relax.
I'm not.
He doesn't. He says, smash the like button.
Okay.
So does Brian Ball, and so does Rondon the Legend. Smash and like everyone. No, smash and like easy, come on.
Bobby's lad.
See, there you go. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that. I imagine it will be done, and I think it'll be done very soon, and we'll go from there. But obviously, there's still more that needs to be done. More links again. Damari Gray yesterday with Andre Gomez, Mason Holgate seen that one again. The echo of running with that one again today. That he looks like he's going. Gabaman, obviously, which we know. But like we said yesterday, some of these players do have to be replaced. But we are desperate in forward areas, aren't we? That's the big thing for us.
Absolutely.
Again, I did say this yesterday, and people were getting very edgy. The Nonso stuff out today that he's desperate to come to Everton. I'm not sure he's desperate to come.
Desperate not to sign yesterday.
Exactly. But a lot of the stuff is he's still interested in joining Everton. It's the two teams which we thought would be the case that are a part in evaluations. And Everton are looking at others as well. Sulemana, the name that's been bandied about. Tete, he still hasn't. Don't think he's still completed a move anywhere. So he's another one who was in the mix for there. Callum Hudson-Odoi, another one, the same kind of. So the targets are all there. Can we do anything? Can we get them in? Everton apparently working on 2 or 3 at the moment. I don't know how far along that scale it is, but that's apparently what's happening right now. So we'll wait and see. Yerry Mina's apparently having a medical today with Fiorentina.
Good luck with that.
Some reports. That'll just be how they structure the deal, though, won't it, with him? I think he's been linked with them a few times, hasn't he, while he was an Everton player. I think it's a sensible move. Yeah. I think if he stays fit, he'll be one of the best centre-backs in Serie A, comfortably.
Yeah, good place for him to be, isn't it? Good place for him to be. Slightly less of a...
slightly warmer, slightly less frantic, the league. and Chelsea will bid 100 million for him next summer, and he's been amazing.
It would not surprise me. It wouldn't.
So,
You can't give him a 6-year contract, though. That's the only
no,
issue.
that's the problem.
That's the only issue. But it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he popped up back at the Premier League within 12 months. Just wouldn't.
If he could keep himself fit.
Yeah, if he kept himself fit.
That's the big thing. We know there's absolutely no doubt in his ability as a centre back. When he's on form, he's a tremendous defender. But fitness is a huge thing, especially in the Premier League. And if you can't stay fit, then you're not much use to anybody, really, are you? So we'll see what happens there. Starting to look at some of these comments. Everton Viking says, the longer these things seem to drag on, the less likely they seem to happen. John Blaine's projects go late one day at a time. We really do seem to struggle to wrap things up quickly. The thing about this, what I would say on this, though, is that this has probably got out a little bit earlier than Everton wanted it to as well. Yeah, that's what I would say. Deals do take a while. Look at the likes of Declan, right? I know it was a big sum and all that, but look at that with Arsenal. West Ham, everyone knew he was going there. It took, wasn't it, 2 weeks or something before they actually confirmed it. We're seeing it with a few transfers now. People are getting worried. There's this happening. Look at Rasmus Højlund. It's been going on for weeks. United still haven't unveiled him. It's not just Everton. It's just obviously we're laser focused on needing players in. So the minute things get out a little bit earlier than the club want them to, it automatically then feels like it drags out for days. What makes me laugh is transfer deadline day. They seem to get these deals done very quickly, don't they? Because obviously
they have to. Don't
well, there's a willingness from everyone to do it quickly, then, isn't it? So we'll see what happens with that. Liam D says it's starting to get the vibes now, lads. Going to Goodison Saturday for my first ever trip. Supported Everton since I was 7 years old in 1986. This is my finally my chance to get over. Cannot wait in the park end. So looking forward to a bevy in the Winslow and into Mecca after. It's right, Liam. Enjoy it. Enjoy every moment of it. It's a good game to go to, isn't it? You know, no less pressure on it. Against good opposition. Chance to see Gyökeres. It's what you could have won. Now, it should be good. Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy every moment that you are in there. Drink it all in. Enjoy the Winslow. Cracking pub. Alex says, do you think Iwobi could leave later in the window, or do you think the club is resigned to losing him for nothing next year? We need to get rid of him and replace him before the window shuts, in my opinion.
Someone have to come in for him. Be interesting. I just wonder whether if Willian goes to Saudi, whether Fulham would come for Iwobi as well. I don't know.
Marco didn't know how to use him last time he had him.
He didn't.
Did he?
He didn't. But
the conversation he had last night was 10 million for Iwobi. Risk losing the 10 million. Or sell him, not replace him, and get relegated. 140 million.
Yeah, well, that's easy, isn't it?
And that's the flip, isn't it? So we can only. It's like anything, isn't it? We can sit here and everybody watching, and people on Twitter and whatever else they use, forums and spaces and whatever, can debate all day long and can come up with. We just need to sell Holgate, we need to sell Michael Keane, and we need to sell Gomez, and we need to sell, and we need to... The problem is, if people don't want them players, or certainly don't want them at a reasonable price for Everton, then there's nothing we can do about it.
No.
All we can do is make the best of a bad situation, and that bad situation might be the likes of loan deals for some of like for Gabamon, say, in an ideal world, we get like 2.5 million for him and get him out the door. Last season but I can't see anybody paying any actual money for him because there's no record lately of him doing much. And therefore, Everton will probably just go, he's joined Ren on loan for the season, which means he's left Everton Football Club, doesn't it? Yeah. We don't have to pay his wages. They'll take his wages and he's gone. And but Everton could go, well, that's if he's on 50 grand a week, there's £2.5 million back in the budget that we don't have to account for, and that's the best case scenario. in some cases. Now, in cases like Damari Gray, if Fulham do want him, then they need to pay the money, don't they? 12.5 million quid, whatever. Get him. Get it tied up. Iwobi, if someone comes in and Everton were confident they could replace him, I'm sure Everton would sell him just because of the economics of it, not because they want to sell Alex Iwobi. Because, as we were saying yesterday, creates a hell of a lot. Sean Dyche knows what he's getting off him. He works really hard. He's the most creative player in our team, so I don't think that desperately looking to get him out the door. But if someone offers you money and you go, well, we can save on his wages and get an income,
and also find out what the player wants. Is he going to sign a new contract? If he was offered a new contract, that's the thing, isn't it?
Because let's be honest, if Everton would have offered him, he was talking about a new contract. Everton might have offered him similar terms to what he's got now, and he mightn't be happy with that. Because by all accounts, the players step back from the talk. So if that's the case, why has he stepped back? Has he accepted he's leaving free next summer? Does he think there's interest from Saudi? Would he even go and play in Saudi Arabia? Let's be honest, I don't know. But does he think there's a London club that wants him and he might want to get a move back to London? Does he think someone else will pay him a lot more than what Everton have offered him? Don't know. And he might really sit down and go, you know what, actually, I do like the manager and I do like the coach and stuff. And he likes Everton, of course. He's come out and said he feels at home here. So if that's the case, and you get you can be guaranteed a wage, that's a good wage that you're on at the moment, then why wouldn't you sign a new deal? So maybe he's just having a look to see what happens in this window. Yeah. Nothing happens. There's no bites on him. He might turn around and say, you know what, I will actually accept whatever those terms were and sign a new deal. We'll have to wait and see on that. Paul Catzel says, do you think we will have Chermiti and another player in before Fulham? And would we let Gray go and sign for Fulham before our game? I wouldn't. I'd let that deal be done next Saturday morning. Do I think we'll get Chermiti in and another player before Fulham?
I think Chermiti
will be in. Yes. Let's be bold.
I could see Chermiti being done like Sunday.
Yeah.
Obviously, once the game with them's done. And they've got a week to get another.
I think I'm gonna be bold and say yes. Last time I said something like that, and we got Ashley Young, didn't we? Within the time scale. So I'm gonna say it as if I'm a lucky charm. So I'm gonna say yes, Paul.
You're about the
size. I am. Yeah. Cheers. Size of the fella who goes Nestle's lucky charm. Gary Waters, hello. Everton Viking says, definitely the type of headline to give every Evertonian anxiety. Yeah. Well, no, that's the report that it isn't finalised, isn't it? There's no that's just fact. That's just fact.
There's not much else going on today.
Ben Sinclair says, if we're signing Chermiti based on doing the numbers, which of Chermiti's stats is he particularly high on? Potential. He's got 1 in 3, has he? No, 1 in 4 starts, hasn't he? For an 18-year-old. That was how old he was when he was in their first team. In their top league. Didn't he score he scored in the Euros? Didn't he get 3 and 4 in for Portugal in the summer as well, apparently, or so someone said. And obviously they're looking at the right kind of framework, Ben, aren't they? They're looking at 6'4", he's mobile, decent in the air, he's a project. We're always talking about project. We can turn around and say, well, if we're talking pure facts and stats, Everton should be all over Gift Orban. So 41 goals in 48 games. He's 20 million probably gets him. Everton should be all over that, or 25 million. Everton should be trying to do that deal now. I'm not convinced Everton have got that kind of money that can to take, and certainly in the breakdown of the money, the upfront payments. And would Orban come here? He might do. He might go Premier League. Yeah, I'll have that. Everton do the right kind of smooching with him, I'm sure he will. He should be one Everton should go and get, 100%. And if Everton could get him and Chermiti and that Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that'd be incredible. I think that'd be very excited then for them as the three. I just don't see it happening. So we have to look and go, well, Chermiti seems to be the kind of player we want the football club to go and get. Young, hard-working, the fee, 12.5 million quid, obviously paid over 4 or 5 years, some add-ons. Low down payments. I think the down payments around 2 million or something like that. It suits Everton right now. That's it. What can you do? Brad says, afternoon. It's been a while. It has. You haven't commented for a few. Afternoon. Yeah, done that. Don't know if it's just me, but when both fully fit, I'm really looking forward to seeing Dele and Don play together. I think they could possibly have a link up like you did with Kane.
Will that happen?
He's got to be fit first, hasn't he? If he isn't involved tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, because not happening tomorrow. If he isn't involved on Saturday against Sporting, I don't know how he gets to go, unless the manager puts him on the bench for a couple of games in August if he's fit and ready. I'd love him to be involved tomorrow for 45 minutes and do quite well. I'd love it. But I'd love him to do well at training tomorrow.
Of course.
So that he's in the squad.
For Saturday,
I did find it could be nothing, but I did find it interesting that Everton actually used him on the unseen thing. With the kid doing his media stuff, because they are very good at just pretending someone doesn't exist and keeping them out. So he was on that. So I did find that slightly interesting that he was involved in that, which is read into that, whatever. But we've said it many times, if he could get to 70% of what he was at Spurs, he'd be in Everton's team all the time, because he'd be better than our players. Will he ever get to that? That's the big thing. A lot of people think no. I don't know. Hope he can. He's a good player. But Mathew Barry says, hello lads. Hope you're all well. Hopefully if you're in by the end of the week. Next week. You can't mean tomorrow, Matt. If we can get Sulemana and another right-sided winger forward, would you listen to offers for Iwobi? We've just done that, haven't we? Yeah, because of the contract thing, Matt. Really. Not because he's Iwobi's got to go. None of that nonsense. Just simply for the contract stuff, where he is with his contract. So we'll see. James Warland says, with that skin, Chermiti will play the first half for Sport and then the second half for us. Lee says, thanks for keeping me up to date with all the content, boys, while I'm enjoying the sunshine in Cyprus.
Oh, mate, go outside.
He probably is. He's probably laying.
Listen to us.
He's probably laying by the pool with his headphones on. Is right, Lee. Is it bearable? What's it like there? Because obviously it's been very, very hot, hasn't it, in Europe?
Really.
It's
an island, isn't it? So
yeah.
More likely to
get it. Yeah, but then Corfu, Rhodes was an island, mate, and Crete, and yeah, Rhodes was on fire. What, mate?
He's trying to be funny.
Oh, okay.
He was sitting there with a cap on.
It's roasting in here. How could you have a cap on? Yeah. Emma Jones says hi. Hello, Emma. Ian says good afternoon. Luke says good afternoon.
You're happy because he's got a new car.
Yeah, it's nice. Fair play to him. Fair play. Stephen Evans says if he wants too much money and it's just flown away and gone. Sorry for this, mate. Bear with. If he wants too much money, don't sign him. We've had our pants pulled down. You know what, Stephen?
You've said the wrong thing here. You've opened the Pandora's box.
What I've done is took all the information and gone, well, the two clubs have agreed because it said everywhere they've agreed. And then there's an issue with some kind of term. No, I'm saying that's what
it's probably just
a Jogo was saying.
It's probably just
a bigger Jogo. Yeah. But even if he was pushing for a little bit more money, which is called negotiation.
That's it.
The lad apparently was surprised that he was selling him, so therefore then why shouldn't he push for a little bit more money? I don't think the money Everton will offer him is gonna is going to be breaking the bank. It's not going to be crazy money that he's on, because he's not on anything in Portugal. So he's entitled to ask for a little bit more if he's been sold behind his back almost, if you like. So we'll see. I was laughing last night. I was talking to Kane last night while the Miami game was on, but he was saying he sat down in the Camping World Sports Arena and Moise Keane scored in 30 seconds.
He did. He sent me a message saying, Moise Keane looks dead overweight. 30 seconds later.
And then he messaged me at the end and said, you know what, he was really good, Moise Keane. Great on the ball. Him and Thingy were dead quick. Him and Weah were dead dangerous on the break. But 3-1 they won, didn't he? Beat Real 3-1.
Yeah.
Inter Miami beat Orlando 3-2. 2 goals for Messi. And a dodgiest penalty that you're likely to see. At 1-1. Orlando were brilliant. And penalty given against them. Santos, the left back, who I really like.
Not brilliant.
Not to stop Messi, no. What a player. Sophie says, going into the new season with Maupay as the striker, this club is a joke. Well, Soph, we've still got 9 days, haven't we? We could have Che Adams next week. Who knows? Mikel Antonio, Iniacho, Armando Broja,
Calvert-Lewin,
Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Forgot about him.
Yes.
It's the best way to do. You see, the thing about it is, if Dominic Calvert-Lewin plays an hour on Saturday or 70 minutes and does well, and then trains all week and is fit, Dominic Calvert-Lewin will start against Fulham, and he's our number 9. And if Dominic Calvert-Lewin's fit, I'll say this right now, shoot me down, because you probably will. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin's fully fit next week, there isn't a centre forward Everton can bring in who is better than Dominic Calvert-Lewin with the budget we've got right now who can hit the ground running. There isn't. You might get Che Adams, you might get Iniacho, you might get Antonio, you might get Broja, like I just said. I'd love Gift Orban, tremendous, right? But the reality is, those 3 I just named without Orban involved, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's better than all of them. So if he's fit, I get it, because for me, Neil Maupay for himself as well needs to be moved on and go and get involved in a new team where they actually think about what they want to do with them rather than just buy him and go, and ruin the lad, not ruin his career, but stagnate his career because poorly planned move. We got Neil Maupay, and 8 weeks later we're preparing to let him go in January. That's how poorly short-sighted that deal was. It's not a case of we got him and everyone's after him and we're having to let him go. We were looking actively to get him out the door 8 weeks after we got him because we could see it wasn't going to work for us. That should never have been signed off anyway because he just didn't fit what we needed. So the lads come in and is used to a team that knocks the ball around and plays into feet and links up and gets it back, and it's lovely football, into a team that is more direct, and certainly last season into a team that was a little bit contradictory all over the pitch. It didn't really know what it was wanting to do, and we needed him in the penalty area, and he's not a penalty box centre forward. If anything, he's a split striker, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what he always was.
Or a number 10.
And when he was at Brighton, obviously he helped with the build-up play, and then...
And they had their 2 wide forwards.
Just doesn't happen with us.
No. Well, we don't play like it. Whether you like it or you don't like it, or whether people can criticise Everton or praise Brighton, we just don't play like that. No. So it's irrelevant. He had 2 wide forwards. He was like Bobby Firmino, light for Liverpool.
Very light.
Wasn't a very light version, maybe just like his shin pad or something. But what he did, the way Firmino for Liverpool would drop into the pockets, Spurs have done it as well with Kane. Again, like Kane's tie-up or something, but he drops in and their 2 wide forwards come in and almost make the centre-forward play. That's what Maupay did at Brighton. He'd drop into them pockets and then their wide players like the Trossard to get in round the back and cause damage there. We just don't do that because we expect, and probably most teams really, the way they play, expect their forward to be the one in the box. Yes, there's variations, But most teams, I would suggest, expect their striker to be in the penalty area.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's not. And so yeah. Poor TV says give Chermiti RAC breakdown cover and that might swing it. Could do. There's lots of little nuances with that, isn't it?
Wouldn't he just get that with his bank account?
Do it?
Wouldn't he just get that with his bank account?
Possibly. It just depends. He's probably waiting. The other thing as well, it has put it out there as well, and because of this is one thing that is overlooked as well, and by everybody, is that because of Brexit and the EU, there's a different. We're not in the EU anymore, so there's a slightly different way of doing things now. Is that you have to wait for a visa.
Hang on, he's stuck in the queue.
He's in the queue
at the airport.
The biometric thing didn't work, so he's just got to sit off. Well, but that's right, isn't it? It's different.
Thought he'd swerved that though.
No, Hoyland had to wait for a visa to come through.
Okay.
Apparently, she only read this last night.
Yeah, so I imagine that
it will be done, but
different. Yeah, so it's just easier to get one.
Yeah, but it just doesn't.
You have to wait for one.
You'd have to wait, and that was what Manchester United were doing with that. So that might be something else to consider. I don't know. I'm just saying.
If anyone's watched what's the name? Hardest Geezers videos on YouTube, the lad who's running from the bottom of Africa to the top.
Oh, the one you love, Trevor.
My God, you're talking about visas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you have to keep stopping them.
He has to keep going like back to different countries to get visas.
Good job he's fit, isn't he?
Very crazy guy.
Fair play to him. Christian Damotta says Sulemana or Nonso. If you had to choose.
Christian Damotta, he sounds like someone we should be linked with.
We should be getting Christian Damotta. I'm not being
He sounds
funny.
like a classy number 8, doesn't he? That has had the season at Udinese and everybody's looking at him now.
Christian, are you available?
He's had.
How quick can you get a work visa?
He took the money and went to Russia, but soon come back.
Okay.
Soon come back, and Saudi will be on the phone.
Honestly, I'm not being funny about the scene like Everton linked with Christian Damotta. Maybe not me, but you would have gone. Yeah, where's he play? And the pivot to give you the XG on him. Involved in 17 goal contributions last season. We'd be all over him. Christian, just turn up at Finch Farm, mate.
Yeah.
Sulemana or Nonso?
That's a tough one because either of them haven't really set the world on fire.
Sulemana got 2 against Liverpool last day. Always good to score against Liverpool.
I don't know. That's a. I suppose Sulemana would be alone. So that might be
less risk.
That might be less risk, and someone that you can. Gives you an opportunity to get other players in. So
yeah, fair play. He is quick though as well. Sulemana, very quick, and obviously Everton did look at him and couldn't get the down payment that Ren wanted, and he ended up going to Southampton. So again, lower risk. Nonso, they're talking 25 million, aren't they? The two clubs are still apart in the valuation. Player personal terms are not an issue apparently. 25 million. Am I happy with that? I think Sulemana makes a little bit more sense, to be honest. On loan, see what Southampton
opens the options up a little bit, doesn't it?
So he is quick as well, though. Kimson's Aviation says, would you give Gabama another chance? No, he's done, mate. The lad wouldn't want another chance anyway. He's been here too long. Had he not got injured, I think he would have done all right at Everton. He had all the physical attributes. Then he got a terrible injury, and then another terrible injury, and then was probably mishandled a little bit by managers. No one really wanted to take. I think Carlo wanted to trust him, didn't he? Carlo wanted to take the thing with him, and then Carlo left, and Benitez was just like, nah, not for me.
He definitely is stuck in the visa queue.
So, Poor TV. No, listen, Nonso didn't tell us it. That was something like Football Insider or some nonsense that there's so far on the outside, there's not a chance that ever on the inside. It's the stuff they come out with is utter nonsense. It's nonsense. They had Mbappe set his heart on Liverpool the other day, and the players like, who? No. It's just take no notice of anything they report. It's nonsense. Stephen Evans wants Hudson-Odoi. It's goals with him. He's got all the potential. Michael Ryan, Chuba Akpom. No, not for me.
Too old.
27. He had a phenomenal season for Borough. They'd done really well. He just wouldn't be for me, mate. Not that age, 20. If he was like 21, 22, you'd be going, yeah, let's go. He's had a great season. He's on the up. 27, no. No, not for me, mate. Not saying he was brilliant last season, but no, not for me. Mark D says, Bull idea. I'd have Bull idea. He's a bit cheaper than Akpom. He's a bit younger than, well, he's a year younger than Akpom, isn't he? He's had 1 and 2 last season. They like Maupai, so there could be a deal to be done there. He has just had his meniscus scraped.
Don't use that word, scrape. It's horrible.
So that's been cleaned out a little bit. So, but we'll see. Joe Mack says, hi fellas, who's your 3 to go down as it stands with current squads? Sheffield United and Luton have the weakest squads by some way. Yeah, Sheffield United, Luton. Toying with Burnley. I think Forest are in a bit. It's Forest, there's all sorts going on at Forest, isn't it?
Yeah, I said that before, yeah.
Players suing them and people want out, and they got done 5 at the weekend again, and there's a lot of unrest at Forest.
Wolves
are in trouble.
Similar to us,
because they're about to lose out to Alex Scott, aren't they, to Burnley, when they thought they had him. Bournemouth, sorry. And Lopetegui is not happy.
No.
Or Lopetegui even is not happy. They don't score goals anyway. No. Jimenez has gone as well, of course. So they could be struggling. I think at the moment, Everton will be in the fight to stay up. I think you have to say that right now. I think it will improve. And by the end of it, I think we'll be fine. I think the manager will have us away from any danger this season. That's just how I see it. West Ham have got to spend their money properly because, again, there's unrest there. They were poor last season, even with Declan Rice, who was fantastic. So there's a few Bournemouth. Bournemouth could be one or the other, couldn't he? You know, new manager and all that. Will it work? So, but I think the 3 that come up,
there'll be half a dozen.
It'll be difficult for them, I think, to stay up. This thing with Burnley, because they got company, are going to come up and be brilliant. I don't buy it at all. I really don't buy it. Fulham is slightly Fulham. Mitrovic goes. If he goes, they could find it a little bit more difficult this season. Who knows? There's probably going to be. The reality is, there's probably going to be 8 of us involved in it. But the 3 coming up, I think, just right now, will definitely be in the mix to be relegated, I think. But you never can tell, because a lot of people thought Fulham would go last season and Bournemouth would go, and Fulham were brilliant, and Bournemouth ended up, safe with a few games to go. So, and no one really went for Leicester, did they? Because of the attacking talents, and yeah, Leicester ended up going. So it's a tough one to call, especially when the window hasn't shut as well. Karen Emlyn Jones says Paul Mullen. Well, he's injured at the moment. So no, don't think we're going to get Paul Mullen. Jay Young says 15 million for Gray, Palm, Keane, Holgate and Gomez to the Saudis for 120 million. Chermiti confirmed, and Mbappe on a 1 year, secure 12th. Fair play, Jay.
Could do it.
Hey, listen, who knows? Who knows? Ian W says Iwobi should be paid on a pay-as-you-create deal.
Pay-as-you-shoot deal?
That would be one. That'd make him shoot, wouldn't it? But then Lampard's whole team should have been pay-as-you-shoot, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Ron says, great show as always, lads. Thanks, Ron. Me and the wife, Francesca. Hello, Francesca. Good afternoon. Are watching in Malta.
Nice.
Tell her to get off her arse and get me a cocktail?
No,
Ron.
we won't.
No, leave Francesca listening and you go and get the cocktails,
for
Ron.
both of yous.
Just
and
go and
treat her right
say,
and look after her.
Say, Francesca, sit
Sit there,
honey, or whatever you want to call her. I'll be back in too with a cocktail for you. Do it, Ron. Go on, mate. Go on. I'd love you to be from Old Swan. Big Ron from Old Swan and Francesca. That'd be tremendous. You go and get the ale in, Ron. Go on. But get your sun cream on as well and have a fantastic time, mate. Kimmon's Aviation says, I think Chermiti will be unveiled on Saturday afternoon. Yeah. Maybe. Why not? Why not? The Sporting Doff could hand them over to Kevin Thelwell with the shirt.
Look after my boy.
And the shake and all that, and he could look around.
Imagine if
there we go.
It kicks off and Chermiti.
If it all kicks off, Ned, it's a friendly.
On Saturday kicks off.
Yeah.
The game kicks off. Chermiti's up front for them. Mulvey's up front for us. And then at half time,
don't say it, Ned.
Half time substitute.
Don't say it, Ned.
And then Chermiti takes his top off.
Don't say it,
Mulvey takes his top off and they swap
shirts. Don't say it, Ned.
Sporting don't want. Sporting don't want Moped though.
Well, we can offer them.
But they don't want him.
You can't force
Well, he can just play 45 minutes for them. Mulvey have Chermiti.
I don't think he can do that. It's a football match. It's all about registration. You can't tell an employee to play for another team.
Chermiti goes off for Sporting and Jack Red comes on.
Okay.
Mulvey goes off for us and Chermiti comes back on for us.
You can't tell an employee to do that.
And they go, surprise.
Is he going to keep his shorts?
Who's going to do surprise? Graham White like that? Surprise. Over the tannoy. Graham. Here's one from Graham. Chermiti, 6'4". Hasn't met Everton.
You go on the game on Saturday, Ned?
Yeah.
I've just sent you something there. You should get involved.
I'm not going in there.
Not take the penalty.
Do the penalty.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
No, that got swept. Went straight in my bin. Chermiti, bang, bang. The trick's gone with.
Oh, Ned, that'd be amazing.
Mathew
Lamb steps up.
Imagine. Steve Evans says, any news on McNeil's injury? Nope. No. Let's just hope he's sleeping in an oxygen tent. The Blue says, I'd love Orban, but I'm guessing they won't accept instalments for him. No. And Ashley Day says Orban off to Spurs by the sounds of it. Is he? Fair play to him. Well, they're going to need a striker when Harry goes, aren't they? So,
you get that bottle with your car.
He's made up with it.
To be honest, Ned, when I got my car, I got a big goodie bag of kazoo. It was amazing.
Smellies.
You got some smellies? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got like a big kazoo. I'm still in the back of my car, umbrella and everything. It's the least he can do for paying the money you just pay for that.
Checkers, because Boulay Dyer is more physically able, I would say. That's why. He's 26 right now. He is 27 in November. He is, but people just ask me, would I take him? I'd rather have Dyer personally than Akpom. There you go. Monty says no way Everton survive right now. Why?
Survive what?
Survived like
the
Premier League. We survived last season with no striker for the whole season. So,
thank you to Connor Stevens for the super chat. You've not asked anything, but
thank you, Connor. Christopher Dean says it. No one wants to come to us as we are crap, and fans threaten our own players.
You're clearly not an Everton.
Yeah, that's nonsense. So that's
a load
nonsense.
of nonsense.
So sorry, mate. Obviously, a red coming in. Fair play to him. Kimmon's Aviation says, would you take Luca Dean back for 10 million?
No, because I don't think we've got 10 million in.
No, I wouldn't anyway. It's 30, 10 million quid. He's boss, don't get me wrong, but no. Connor Stevens says, watching from Memphis, home of Tim Howard.
Nice.
That's right,
and the
Connor.
901.
That's right.
What about Lionel McNeil last night?
Who?
Lionel McNeil last night.
Lionel McNeil?
Yeah, Lionel McNeil.
Oh, stop it.
Getting a break?
No, stop it.
Okay.
Stop it. Lionel McNeil. Piss off, mate. Stop it. Stop it.
What have you got against him?
Just don't call him that. That's all.
So we calling him what? Mac Jesus?
Whatever you want, but not online. Where's Toffee boy? Nonto wouldn't rather stay at Leeds. Stop peddling nonsense because it's been written by some kid in his bedroom. Nonto would not rather stay at Leeds than come to Everton. So his agent's on the bleeding phone every 2 minutes. No chance. People are talking about Perez, Ioji Perez, but he's already gone, hasn't he? Gone somewhere else. He's gone somewhere else. RC says you make me feel McMesso.
So,
love it, don't you?
McMessy, between the two buns. He's got the secret sauce. That's what it is. He's got the secret sauce.
Fair enough. I just feel like you're doing Dwight a disservice.
I'm not doing Dwight any disservice.
I feel like you are.
He's my boy. My boy Blue.
Someone clip that. Where are we? Tremendous. Where was I up to? On Premier, let's get over there. David Goondy says, do you think Sulemana links are real or just a tactic by Everton to push Leeds to lower Nonto's price? There's probably a bit of everything thrown in. Sulemana agent wants him out the Premier League. Wants him out the Championship. Everton were interested in him. I guess Everton and a few other clubs have been tipped the wink that he may be available on loan. And if you can put a little bit of panic into, not that Leeds will be panicking, but if you can kind of make Leeds think you might go elsewhere and they lose some money, then so be it. We'll see. Where are we? Adam says, is it refreshing that we're going back to the same targets we've had the past couple of windows, almost as if we're following a transfer strategy? Or does it just tell us we're struggling to get who we actually want and bringing in Dan Juma and potentially Che Adams, Sulemana is all we can hope for? For once, I'm thinking positively that we're going along with the former. Well, if you have got a list of players and those players are still available 6 months later, why would you totally turn away from that? You wouldn't, would you?
And a lot of it is hand to mouth at the moment, short-term targets. And that's just, for me, I've said this a couple of times, for me, I want us to have in by the first game, the core that we need. So we need another centre forward. I think we should have, I'm not going to say should as in, but for me, you've got to have that player in. You've got to have your core players in. So whether, whatever. And then in that period after, around that till the window closes, that's when I think we'll start bulking the squad out. So I'm not panicking about that as such because I think it'll happen. I think that'll happen. For me, I think you've got to have those core players in though for the first season. You can't be messing about with that again.
Didn't work last year, did it?
It didn't work, and I know we had more games last season.
Got 3, haven't we, Premier League games before the window and a Carabao Cup.
Yeah. So for me, I think
it's 4 games.
It is a case of having, the what exactly what we need in.
Yeah.
And then we'll start adding because, as I said, it's gonna be mad.
No, it is. Stuart the Piv likes Chermiti. Loads of tools.
And he'd tell you
patience. He'd tell you
if he didn't like him. Yeah. He really would.
So, Evan Viking says, I know, I was just taking the mick. It'll happen because Sporting need the money. Yeah, they need the money for the midfield play they want, don't they? Lou says, did you see the video Richie's posted on TikTok? If I was a Spurs fan, I would not be happy.
I'm not a TikTok. I don't have TikTok.
Is it?
Not a young
I imagine it's something to do with Everton.
I'm sure Ned's watched it. He's a youth.
Yeah. Jay Radcliffe, now do you find Richie's TikTok video? Jay Radcliffe says, when do we expect Baraka to have his physical examination? Do you think our fans will swallow the Baraka signing? Will Baraka be released to Evertonians? If Baraka doesn't work out, it could be a bitter swill to Apollo.
He's in bits, I believe.
Yeah. Everton Viking says the potential fee for Che Adams is 15 million quid. If we're struggling for money, even if the down payment is low, is this not too much for a player of his ability? Yeah, I wouldn't.
Have you got Everton gear on or anything?
Yeah. Okay. Listen, Richie wants back in, doesn't he? Yeah. I think it's blatantly obvious Richie wants back in.
Someone's asked there in the comments.
Come on.
Well, there's a couple of people. Someone said, lads, this is from John.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to bring back PES or FIFA videos? Well, can't bring back PES unless we do old PES.
We should do. Me and you should do tradition.
Maybe we should. Maybe it's a lot. You're not the one who has to do all the kits and everything. I've basically forgotten how to do it.
But they're still on the PlayStation 4 though, aren't they?
They all got lashed. But yeah, we're gonna do FIFA.
We are
gonna
do FIFA.
So
EAFC.
Someone else has put, are you gonna do EAFC like season?
Yeah, we are.
What we're gonna do?
Me
is,
and
like,
you were gonna do it.
What we were gonna do is, we thought this might be funny, or I thought this might be funny. Is Ultimate Team. But what is it? Ultimate Team? Is it like you keep your play for like 3 games or something?
You have to like get contracts.
So what I was thinking was we do it right, and then every episode is a new one of us plays the episode. So you've got to deal with the chance.
Just one of us playing.
One of us.
Better with 2 of us though.
How is it better though?
Because it's funnier.
All right, well, I'm working out the kinks.
Is this just like a working?
This is like a well, my idea was, it's like part of the funny thing is that you're having to deal with the last person's buys as well. So there's like a
Well, that the one of us could select the team kind of thing and argue and moan about it, and then the person who's on.
We are going to do something because we've just got a PS5, so we've got to justify.
Ready for content. Just back on Shea from Everton Viking. You have to pay 15 million for him, even if it's spread over. I feel like that's too expensive for him. Don't dislike him as a backup, but around that. But for that, be around 5 or 10 million. There are other options outside the Premier League we could take a chance on. Yeah, 15 seems a bit steep for me, to be honest. Stephen Lamb says, all right, chaps, no, it's not football related, but interested to know Ped's view as an ex-rail worker on the government wanting to close all ticket offices, leaving the older generation and disabled passengers.
It's disgusting. I worked at Garston. I've worked on the barriers at Central and stuff. I was a guard out of Lime Street. It's disgusting, mate. It'll affect. It's this like thing of like everyone knows how to use their phones and get the tickets on the phones and all that. That's great. But there's genuine people out there who need help, whether they're old, whether they're blind, whether they're disabled, whether they need to speak to the people in the station to tell them that that they'll need wheelchair assistance to get on the train. It's just another thing that they'll do, and then they'll deal with the ramifications afterwards when it all goes tits up. Because that's all anyone ever does in this country. They go, I've got a bright idea to save money. Let's do this thing. And then when it all goes tits up later, they're like, we're goosed. So, no, it's terrible, mate. It's not a thing that it's like, well, we all use our phone now when we go on the trains. So people genuinely need, and people who work in stations obviously do a lot more than just sell tickets. So, it's crap.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Right, last few. Lee says it's 30 in Cyprus. It's 31 degrees here, boys. I'm floating on my Lilo with the AirPods in. It's right, Lee. Enjoy your day, mate. Evan Viking said, I listen to you while I'm at the pool, boys. I'm both outside and keeping up to date with the Toffee TV crew. Made a bit of a rookie mistake yesterday, though. Fell asleep on the sun lounger and half of my neck's burn. Oh, mate, get the sun cream on. Come on, stop it. Gary says Germany have been eliminated from the Women's World Cup. Yep. Glenn Watson says, what's the worst thing you can scrape? Nails on a chalkboard. Your knee. Not enough butter over too much bread. That's the third. That's number 3. I think you might. Scraping your knee's horrible, innit? If you take too much of the skin off, then it sticks to your clothes. That's not good. But nails on a chalkboard, oh my God. That is horrible. I've just got goosebumps and that's horrible. Where are we? James says, rather take a punt on Dion Bellio than Che Adams. Bellio, 6'5", powerful and quick, 3 goals, 3 assists in 15 for Augsburg, only 21. James, there is quite a few of these around, mate. Acor Adams, €5 million. They're there. We just don't seem to know about them, or we don't seem to want to take that gamble, maybe. I don't know. But I think if you're looking at it and you've got Dom, and then you've got someone like a Acor Adams or like whatever, and then you've got a Chermiti, because let's be honest, Maupai's going to go out the door. I think you've got your bases covered there. because Dom, hopefully, and you've also got Dan Juma who can play through the middle. So you've got, I know you're still kind of saying, well, you're still relying a bit on Dom, but if he's fit, we're going to have to anyway, aren't we? So I'd rather have someone like Akor Adams, who's 23 and raw, but can, and there's other versions of him, like I've just been saying. RC says standing on a nail. Oh, stop it.
RC said I bet his neck looks like a squishy.
Fair play. Absolutely.
They're standing on the nails. The nail.
They're standing on the nail on the nail Mopai.
They're standing on the nail scene in no, the other, what's it called? Quiet Place.
Oh my god!
My God.
Scream.
That is horrible. That is so horrible.
Joe Max has signed Akor Adams and Che Adams, so we can have the Adams family up front.
Go for it.
I've heard people say Che Adams has the same attributes as R9. Those people are idiots. R9, the greatest centre forward ever to play the game, and people are talking about Che Adams. Come on, stop it. Yeah, Villa love to spend the money. They're after Tyler Adams now, aren't they?
Fair play.
And Adam and Traore. They're coming down for a big crash. They're already well over in FFP. Just relegate them all. Just leave us on our own in the league where we still finish second. Standing on a plug as well.
It's a bad one.
Some bad ones here, isn't it? No, stop that. Stop that. Right, we are. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. We're going to be live again, obviously, in a minute on More Than a Game at 2:00. So make sure, just stay here. There's 1,100 of you. Just stay and get over there, and let's have a good chat over there about everything else that's going on in the world. If you haven't subscribed to More Than a Game channel, why? Takes a second, costs you nothing. Check out the Michael Branch interview. It's absolutely, he's brilliant. He's absolutely very open, very honest, very emotional at times. Brilliant insight into the pressures on young footballers and from parents and coaches, and from self putting that thing into your own mind, and how quickly things can change. Check it out. If you've watched it, let me know what you think. If you watch it, make sure you put a comment under the video. We're trying to grow that channel. The bigger it gets, the bigger the guests get. We can do more and more stuff on it. So stay here, because you literally, if you just stay where you are, the link will take you straight onto that. And let's have a good chat about everything else that's going on in the world of football as well.
Why wouldn't you?
And don't forget, Che Adams has got Everton in his name.
Yes.
So just, if you forget that, then that's more fool you. Hit the like button, subscribe as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you in 5 minutes over there. Be good.
All right.